Hi, Schlockmeister fans. The zaniest sting operation on 4 wheels. It's called HOTWIRE. Let's watch. This is George Kennedy. He plays a cop.
Elliot Wallace?
Yeah.
Stop running, it's all over. No, I've been running.
He's Harley, and he's there to arrest him. Billy's a car thief.
Charged with known criminals and attempting to leave the city.
Liz ain't no criminal. I wasn't planning on leaving town.
Your suitcase was packed. And I could take that little honey in right now and get a record started on her.
So he gets thrown in jail, and then he meets George Kennedy again. A dual role as Harley's twin brother, Farley.
Brother Harley is a very orderly man. He likes everything in its place, sort of every worm in its hole. Don't bother to stand up. I make it a point never to discuss business on my feet.
Farley runs a used car
I
dealership,
got you in a bit of trouble.
and he has an offer for her.
I'm going to apologize. I'm going to make it up to you. And I'm going to offer you a way out of this. Come on, let's hear it. Mr. Wallace, your God-given talent is what you do best.
What's that?
I want you to repossess cars for the Fair Deal Farley Fontenot Company.
So he gets him out, he introduces him to Weasel,
Elliot Wallace, this is the Weasel.
Strother
You
Martin.
have the raw talent, Mr. Wallace, and the potential. But the Weasel is an artist. Watch and listen. Let him find a tough one. You bring them home.
So Weasel teaches him the tools of the trade, the repo business. And they're off and running. Sometimes Weasel acts as a distraction.
Wait, my car! He's stealing my car!
By golly, he is. You're gonna have to report it to auto theft.
But my car! My car! He's stealing my car!
Auto theft. Like I told you, I'm vice.
But this Rolls Royce that just passed him is the one car
Study
Farley
that
really
car
wants.
Real good, 'cause that's something that Farley wants more than anything in the world.
Got the bucks, why don't we buy it?
He already bought it. Only Mr. Bodine took it off his hands about 6 months ago. He went for a test drive in it, never brought it back.
Anyway, the boys go out drinking.
You may be a little early, Billy. Oh, hell no, looky, looky, looky. Joint is beginning to jump. How are you, Eddie?
This is Mr. Bodine, the guy who has that Rolls Royce. He's got a couple of his thugs beating up Billy because he was hitting on one of Bodine's ladies. Bodine is kind of a pimp.
Hey, buddy?
They continue their routine.
Oh, I've lost it. What? I can't find it. Is it valuable? Oh, it's priceless. I'll give you half if you help me find it.
This is
There it
called a
is.
distraction, of course.
You see it, don't you? Yeah.
Add wraps
Billy is sick of Farley.
and your gold seal guarantees and your good-for-nothing junk cars and cram them up your tailpipe.
Farley is super cheap. This is Callie. That was the woman in the bar he was hitting on. He sees her outside in the streets, too.
My name's Billy Wallace.
Callie Rose.
Hot pants and on to hot wires. You know, Farley ain't paying us to repossess somebody else's woman.
She ain't nobody's property. Her name's Callie Rose and she's different.
Ain't none of them different.
Well, she's lonely.
She's poison. As long as Bodine's
Well,
around.
the hell with Bodine.
This time they fail. Remember that guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre? The cook? Here he is with a beard. Anyway, Billy and Callie have a romance going.
Either because of Bodine or What they think I am.
Well, I'm not, Tom. I'm worried about Bodine. I know what you are.
You can either deal with him or you can deal with me.
Yeah, well, you're just a little late, Harley.
Farley had Harley beat up.
I've been back on the job since noon.
Billy.
Shot at twice. Down once. Well, they haven't invented a lock yet that'll keep out the weasel.
That's right, man. This is just like the car repossession business that we're both in. You see, I break in and Billy does the hot wiring.
He's a harmless cat, I believe.
It's a disabled vet.
How'd you know?
Someday, Farley, you'll get what's coming to you.
Maybe while crossing the street.
That's what's coming. That's mine. That car, you get me that car. I'll call the debt even. You get me that car, and I'll burn that piece of paper.
Billy owes Farley
Farley,
for the car he
if I
got.
bring that car back, it'll be to leave a set of skid marks over that fat mouth of yours.
Now these are some cops at a diner.
Waiting right
Those are boobs. And outside, our guys are repossessing one of the cops' cars.
Well, at least you got yourself a cute one.
Huh?
I said, at least you got yourself a cute one.
You got yourself some cute one too, you know?
He doesn't like. Hey! Somebody's got the car!
This ends up in a chase.
Adios, friend. Adios.
And our cops push their own car.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry, but you're going to have to accept me that way. Forget me.
Callie is rejecting Billy.
Too much for you to handle.
Billy and Weasel spotted the rolls.
I might not be able to satisfy her, but she could sure satisfy me. What are you doing? I'm just looking.
Billy almost got the car,
Way out of here. Can you run?
but one of his thugs is in the back seat.
Real fast? Yeah. Well, if you can hear the shell when I pump it in the chamber, you ain't running fast enough.
Downtown double-breasted banker. Why, she's easier to take out than a loan.
Our
She
pimp,
pays for interest
Bodine,
and
is putting on shows.
She's always ready to be compounded daily.
Harley pays Bodine a visit.
Evening, Bodine. Which one is mine?
What do you think this thing is? A rodeo sometimes ain't a fat stock show.
Don't look so fat to me. Which one's mine?
Weasel was posing as a reverend to marry a couple.
Why, don't you just love all the excitement one can pick up around here?
Callie's helping them now.
You do, little lady.
My, that's one hunk of a man you're covering up in those threads.
This is a guy named LeBlanc.
It's about the shortest bet in town.
And this time,
How about a
they don't just take the car, they take the man. I'm not exactly sure why. I missed that part.
Where the hell you been?
Bodine and Callie.
Be here when I want you.
Was you a man I'd kick?
What did I do wrong?
You left. You know time good to me unless I can reach out my hand and grab you anytime I want.
Well, I don't know.
He's been shopping
I've
her.
been waiting. Just the right bid and the right buyer. And he's gonna be here directly.
And guess who the lucky bidder is? It's Harley. I believe before Harley was able to do anything other than try to get undressed, Billy shows up. Now, how Harley was able to take off his pants without his boots, I don't know. But they're fighting. A fight that Billy's gonna win. Now Billy has a plan. He's gonna get that Rolls.
Captain Harley forgot his boots.
Well, they get that Rolls. Bodine gives chase and ends up in the drink. Billy brings the car back, gets his lean.
What have you done to my car? Holy shit.
The Rolls just look better though.
And your gold seal guarantee.
I'm gonna get Bodine after you and Harley.
As for Bodine, well, he's trying to figure out how to walk on water.
And that's HOTWIRE. Alright, let's talk about this movie, HOTWIRE. It's a movie that I saw maybe about 25 years ago. My Schlockmeister brother Jeff had this on a pre-recorded tape, and I borrowed it and watched it. I have since inherited that tape from him when he gave up his VHS tapes, and now I have it. Not available on DVD. It was available on home video VHS from Paragon. I believe another company may have put this out as well. So I think there's a couple versions out there. But anyway, if anybody rented Paragon tapes back in the 80s, you saw a commercial for HOTWIRE, because this was always on tons and tons of those tapes. I reviewed Mongrel not too long ago, and that one was on, HOTWIRE was on there as well. So anyway, the movie is about George Kennedy. He plays dual roles of Harley and Farley. Harley is a tough sheriff in this southern town somewhere, and Farley is this kind of effeminate, sleazy car dealer, car salesman guy. And anyway, there's this other guy named Billy, or Ed Billy, whatever his name was, and he gets arrested for stealing cars. Farley gets him out and says, "Hey, you're really good at stealing cars. I'm going to hire you to be a repossessor." So he hooks him up with this guy named Weasel, who's played by Strother Martin in his very last role, by the way. And he sends them out repossessing cars, and they're pretty good at it. Ultimately, though, he wants to get this one Rolls Royce repossessed that apparently he gave to this guy named Bodine, who's like this local mafia pimp type guy. He took it out for a test drive, and then Bodine never returned with the car. So this Rolls Royce has been out there forever and just hasn't been picked up. So anyway, he's afraid of Bodine, so he doesn't want to antagonize him. So he wants these two guys to get him, and these two guys don't have any love for Bodine either, especially Billy, because he starts to like one of the girls who Bodine is dealing with. He's kind of like just a high-class pimp is what he is. So anyway, eventually they do go after his car. He gets mad at Bodine enough. A couple of failed attempts, but eventually he does get it, beats up the guy. He gets into a car crash, though, or a car gets wrecked a little bit on the way back to Farley's dealership. But he manages to get the car back, and he gets this lien taken away that Farley was holding over his head. And he basically walks away. He gets the girl, and that's the end of our movie. So there you go. Anyway, this is I don't know, it was a decent film. I think it's rated PG. There's nothing too overly offensive about it. No nudity. I don't know, there wasn't even a lot of language in it. I don't know, but it was pretty pretty lighthearted film with some Southern comedy thrown in as well. Kind of like a Hicksploitation type film a little bit. But anyway, it's kind of decent. So anyway, that's about it. So anyway, it's called HOTWIRE. I'll leave a link to Amazon down below if you're looking to purchase this VHS tape. It's pretty cheap. I think it was $3.99 on Amazon. Well worth $4. So check it out. This is a homemade DVD-R that I made and made some box art for. But check it out. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. It's called HOTWIRE. Watch it. Bye.